I will start by asking you the same question we've been asking the people that we're chatting with around San Antonio. Do you think San Antonio has a speeding problem?
I wouldn't necessarily say we have a speeding problem. There are speeders, no doubt. The department does a really good job of enforcing traffic laws and trying to prevent traffic accidents.
How do you determine where enforcement is kind of prioritized around the city for speeding?
So what we do is we partner with TxDOT, and it's data driven. We'll look at areas of town that have a high number of accidents, whether that's just fender benders, serious bodily injury, or fatality. And what we do is we put officers in that area for a presence, not only just to write tickets, it's more than that, it's for the safety of citizens. And we want to limit accidents in those areas and try to decrease them. That's our goal.
How often do you revisit that data and look at where the trends are shifting?
We're always looking at it, day to day. We get complaints from stakeholders, from citizens. I got one this morning from a chief of a school district that asked for presence, and we provide that service to them. We'll go out, and sometimes presence alone can deter speeders. Sometimes it takes enforcement, but whatever it takes, we will do to get the job done.
We were looking at the top 10 spots where people were cited for speeding in 2024, and Wurzbach Parkway was by and large the biggest spot. There were almost 700 tickets on Worsbach Parkway last year. What makes that spot specifically such a prime spot for speeding?
I don't know if I would be able to pinpoint like one reason why people speed on that road. It could be, hey, they're running late that day. There's not a lot of traffic on that road, and sometimes people feel like when there's not a lot of traffic they can go as fast as they want, which isn't the case, obviously. But it is wide open. There's really, the access roads are not like your typical highway. But to say, hey, this is the reason why people speed on that road, I wouldn't be able to give you like an exact answer.
There were a couple spots that were along Loop 410 that were also some of the heavily cited areas. How does that work for SAPD? Is it kind of on the access roads where people are getting pulled over, or is it on those sections of highway themselves?
It's both, and again, you're looking at those areas where people are driving at high rates of speed, and when you do that, maybe other drivers aren't paying attention, you're driving too fast, that's a recipe for an accident. And again, that's something that we want to limit, so we'll have enforcement out there to ensure that the drivers are abiding to the speed limits.
Are there any tools that SAPD uses to kind of deter people from speeding, like cameras or those speeding monitors that tell you how fast you're going when you drive past it?
We do have speed trailers, and when you drive by those trailers, it's giving you your speed. And if you're above the speed limit, we recommend that you slow down, because the next time it could be a police officer behind you issuing a citation, costing you money. So those speed trailers kind of work in your favor. That's a tool that the department uses to get drivers to adhere to the speed limit.
How do you foresee this problem evolving as San Antonio grows?
Well, again, there is a lot of growth in San Antonio, and I would just fall back on what I just told you, like, hey, if you're gonna go somewhere, expect traffic, so make sure you're giving yourself enough time, limit the distractions, and just be aware of your surroundings.
So you were saying that it's kind of a constant thing to look at the data and look at where enforcement needs to happen. If we were like a year from now to pull speeding citations again, would you presume that it would probably be all different areas, or are there spots that like year after year you typically see more speeding?
Yeah, it's different. In the areas that we're focused on with, say, grants, we would hope, and I'm confident, that the numbers would be lower. The tickets may be up, but the accidents and the fatalities would be down. And again, that's the goal at the end of the day, to preserve life and limit the number of accidents that we see.
Tell me more about those grants. How would that work in certain areas?
So we work with TxDOT, and they'll look at, they'll pull the data, find out where the most accidents are occurring, and then we will go out there and have officers enforce speeding and just traffic violations in those particular areas. And like I said, again, a lot of time it's presence. When you see a police officer on the road, you tend to, hey, how fast am I going? You put your phone down. We see that, and so that's what we want. We want people to just abide by the law.